mic check. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to another episode of 99 Ain't Good Enough, where we keep it 100.
Is that what we do here? We keep it 100.
100.
Got my hand in my pocket and my finger on the trigger. My posse's getting big and my posse's getting bigger. Some voices got trouble. Some voices got
bass.
We got that kind of voice that are in
your face.
Like the bun to the burger. Like the burger to the bun. Like the cherry to the apple and the peach and the plum. I was on that old Beastie Boys.
Hey, man, you was on that Beastie Boys?
I was on that License to Ill. Came out in 86.
Listen, the Beastie Boys normally come out around the holidays.
Where you was in 86, Tommy Gunn?
I was skipping rocks.
Up there in Gainesville.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I was skipping rocks, learning how to throw a curveball.
I think at that point right there, I had dropped out of school and was working.
Working.
Yeah, and then I figured out that ain't the way I wanted to go.
See, 100. Dropped out of school. Not kids go to school, this, that, and other. Life experiences.
Dropped out of school.
And decided to go get a W-2, pay some taxes.
Yeah.
Some bills.
Because the bill undefeated.
Yeah.
Just like time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Time is undefeated.
True indeed.
So, you know, it's just 100.
And I would, hey, after a while, you'd be like, I think I could make a living a little easier way than this right here.
Hey, we all have to go through our own thing to figure out what we're trying to do. Because when you say, you know what, I'm grown, I love to hear kids say, I'm grown. Oh, really? Come here, let me show you something.
Hey, man.
Since you're grown.
Right.
You know.
That grown cover a lot of ground.
A lot of ground.
Different level. You're of age. You might not be grown.
Yeah.
You of age in the sense of, yeah, you can go buy alcohol. Yes, you can join the armed forces. Yes, you are electric chair eligible. You will be executed by the state. You are of age.
You are of age. Probably the only thing you can't do now, you can't drink.
Yeah,
you know.
Hey, man, don't nothing come.
You know, you can go to the army. You get electrocuted, but you can't drink.
They will strap you in up there.
As my uncle used to say, you old enough to take a bullet.
Right.
I promise you. Yeah, you're old enough to take a bullet, but you ain't old enough to drink.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, man, well, with that being said, man, this is the direction we're gonna go today, man, and I think we're gonna get a lot of tread, you know, concerning this, man, because you know, trauma, whatever you define it as, whatever you've endured, whatever you've been through.
We're gonna put the trauma in air quotes.
Yes, we've all had traumatic experiences that has hindered our thought process, our raising practices, things that we've been through and we've learned through, you know what I mean, dealing with the trauma.
Let me cut you off, Coach.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna say that it's always. I guess you know. I guess the word trauma is always associated with like a negative experience.
Yes.
But it can also, you know, some trauma that you go through can actually help you parent better, and you might not even know it. You know, you might have had an experience growing up, and you probably say to yourself, "Well, when I have kids, I'm definitely not doing X, Y, and Z."
Well, yeah, it can go in so many different directions. Traumatic experiences for some people can be it could be the sisterhood or the brotherhood effect in the sense of where you use that same universal application that you endured through the trauma and apply it to somebody else.
Right.
Or you can say, okay, like you just said, you know what, I know how not to be. I know what I don't want. For example, I dealt with a lot of negativity growing up. Well, right now today at 43, I'm an extremely positive person. You know what I'm saying? But through that's just not the way to go about it in regards to a lot of things that we endure. So we want to get into the meat and potatoes of that.
Well, you know what? I think, listen to everything we start with, the biggest thing, man, is you have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be the choice you want, but you have a choice.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? And like what you're saying, you grew up with some negativity and stuff, but you made a conscious choice, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you grew up a certain way or you were taught a certain way don't mean you have to continue it. You know what I mean? But you take all the options and all the things that happen to you, you look them out, and then it's like any coach or any teacher, you see what worked, what didn't, you weed that out, and then you kind of take it and twist it into your way as a parent.
The best thing, I think, through my own traumatic experiences, I think the best thing that have come to light for me is having somebody close to me that's allowed me to see them and then me wanting to make them better.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
I'm saying?
big.
Like, and that was those things. Like for me, it was like, okay, you're playing victim right now. Stop looking at it, you know, this way or that way. And it's like, oh, you know what? Once I think about it and look at it in hindsight, when my ego's not in front of me, you're right. Let me let me fix that. Let me get better at not saying, okay, everybody's coming down on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying in that regard.
I can't say for sure. It's got to be a little bit harder for men
Oh man,
because of that deadly drug, testosterone.
that testosterone
and
drug.
that ego.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To let you say, let me take a look at this. It's got to be a better way. Or let me take a look at this and say, that wasn't so good. You know what I mean? It's got to be a little tougher. I don't know. But
And it's
No,
it's
it
easy. It's
definitely is
easy
for
for
me.
women. It's easy for women to recognize it and see it in us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those that we've been close to, we've loved or whatever. So a lot of my own, you know what I mean, indiscretions or traumatic experiences that may have come out that have come from to say, oh, hold on. When you find the right delivery to speak to a person and you want to deliver in a way to where they can understand without being judged.
Right.
You know what I mean? You begin to try to, fix those. So give me a few profound examples of in your life, Debonair, that you've seen.
I don't know where the terminology playing victim came from, but I had an aunt, and I couldn't identify it at a younger age.
Right.
But she was my great aunt.
There's a psychology term for it. I forget it though.
Yeah, but like when I got older, I heard people start saying people playing the victim or the victim card. I couldn't articulate it when I was young, but like I knew like a lot of the family stuff that would go on, she would be the cause of it. So it would be kind of like she taking the pin out of the grenade, rolling it in the room, and then she doing this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole playing victim aspect. And I think a lot of people might be playing victim and might not even recognize it.
Oh, that most of them that do play victim don't recognize it.
Right.
Here's something that's been interesting to me that I've seen over my years of living and dealing with, so much, trauma, whether it was my own trauma or seeing somebody else's trauma, right? So the victim card, when you look at it, it's like the most interesting thing to me is Dak just mentioned about you don't recognize you're playing victim. But the oddest part to me is saying, okay, if I was once upon a time robbing, stealing, just for example, running in banks, this, that, another, and let's just say I went to prison, I dealt with it, then I got out, and now I am somebody that's of an inferiority complex. I don't come off as tough or demonstrative at this point in my life. I'm more laid back and casual, but I'm more victim-y. That is psychologically.
What you mean?
Like
so you saying like the difference between like when you went to prison, this person went to prison as opposed to getting out. Now they're more. I guess they're more
disassociated. They're more fearful. They're very scary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like psychologically, it's a block there. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, what at this point had you doing this? Now you're doing this. You know what I mean? There's an immense amount of anxiety.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's so many different things. So I've seen examples like that, to where it's like, okay, we touched on the crack era, right? So there's people that I know that's been in the crack era that was out doing what they were doing to get money or crack.
right.
And then now you run away from that.
Yeah. What I think happens with those people, I think it is a very traumatic experience.
Yes.
Especially when they sit down and look back at it. And it's almost a double-edged sword. They kind of want to disassociate themselves from it.
Mm-hmm. That is very true.
But then, like, in disassociating themselves from it, you almost sound crazy because now you done start to spin your own truth. And your own truth don't match up with what actually happened. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does to me. But for me, life.
Because what they'll say is, when you have to, as we like to say, when you have to bring them back,
Mm-hmm.
or they would say, you throwing stuff up in my face trying to, paint that narrative of me what I used to be. It's almost a slippery slope because, you might have been on heroin and robbed banks, Mario, in the 80s.
Right.
Right? So now you doing legacy and all this stuff. This look good.
But that's your life, though.
Yeah, so we're not going to act like that
we
didn't
going to
happen.
act like that ain't happened.
But I'm not going to bring that up on a daily basis
Right.
unless you
want to go there.
We like to say, unless you get a little too sporty.
Yeah, but that's
And then I got to bring it up. And then you'll be playing victim when I bring it up to bring you back.
Right, to bring you back.
Well, I think the whole thing, man, a lot of times is we constantly changing and growing.
Right.
And
Right.
we have to accept that. We have to understand that. And we have to take everything to go with it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I mean? Who you are today. You wasn't this person yesterday.
Right.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
But you
time
did rob a
but
bank in 1986.
that is.
Everybody lied on
Yeah.
you.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's part of the growing and understanding. Yeah, I did do that, man, and that's where I ran. But I'm trying to make some change.
But you hear your
I'm trying to do
tone in
some
your
things.
voice
Yeah.
and your
That's big too.
you hear your tone, the inflection, the level of understanding, identifying that this was me then, this is me now. I'm not trying to erase that.
Yeah.
No, it's different on the other end, Coach. It's like, oh no, I ain't do that. Like I'm bigger than that. I'm this, that, and the other.
Right.
Why that got to be brought up? What's that to talk about? You know what I'm saying?
It's got to be brought up. 'cause
it got to
happened.
be brought up because it happened.
Hey, listen, man. Let me tell you something. Over time, I done learned, man. You can go in my closet if you want to and pull all them skeletons out, and we'll put a dancing show on for your ass,
Right.
because I'll be right there with them, two-stepping and saying, that was me. All right?
Ain't no question
Ain't
about
no
it.
question
That's
about
how
it.
they be dancing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what my godson, my grandson do. When you mention certain keywords, you say skeleton, and he said,
Hey.
Right.
So I'll give one example that I think that was a hindrance early on, that was traumatic growing up, and then I brought it, you know what I mean, to my present life when I created my own family. And it was, my practices a lot of times with my son. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of the same application, because like I didn't have a mother or father. I was taken right from the hospital, similar to your story.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of the things that you had to learn was through, negativity and toughness, or what they thought was toughness.
right.
And how, you know what I'm saying, and
Yes,
how they
sir.
were, raising you. So a lot of things that you thought you wanted to do, you can do, but it wasn't managed from those people. You know what I'm saying? The way I felt like it could have been better in that sense.
Right.
So I use a lot of those same applications, you know what I'm saying, towards my son. He respected me so much, but at the same time, if I would have never caught it at a certain age, it would have been a hindrance on our relationship, because it was just this. It was all go, all gas, no brakes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to identifying and understanding, like, okay, there has to be some breaks and understanding in regards to it, and then finding out ultimately what he wanted and how he wanted to go about doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a few things that you ultimately want as a father to be able to see your child have, and especially a son, and one of them was toughness for me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, not knowing I couldn't really create that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like that one. So that was fortunate enough, it was in him. It was in his pedigree. But
Of course it's in him. It's in your blood. Huh?
true story.
Okay.
But that trauma that I dealt with, it lingered on to my relationship with my child until later on, and we
course
was
it
able.
did.
You know what I mean? But I had to do the work for me to understand that. It hurt me.
That's the key.
That's the key. It hurt me in relationships.
You had to do the
You know what I mean?
work.
A few relationships that I had in regard, that ego and testosterone was an animal.
It's a killer, man.
But let me tell you something. But when you went in to listen to a queen, you know what I mean? They'll bring you down to get you to understand quite a few things,
Yeah.
About it. And then having somebody that you can brush over and have that conversation with that have testosterone just like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And be like, you know what, Ree, you were wrong. Or you know
Right.
what, Demon, you were wrong. And so look at it this way. And then you go apologize like a man, and then you move on, and you're better, and you feel better.
Yeah. But see, it's so much, man, with your surroundings when you're young, your surroundings when you're older. You see what I'm saying? The way you talking right now, only a certain, let me look for the right word, only certain men can go with that and understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to grow and you have to change, man, and you have to let that go. But at the same time, all them things still have to be acceptably a part of you.
Except it has to be a part of your fabric.
Yeah.
Right.
It has, if you trying to run away from something that you did, you're never going to be sustainably happy.
Yeah.
You're not.
And it sounds like we kind of like, contradicting ourselves when we saying,
Yeah.
but we really not contradicting ourselves.
No.
Like if you saying I have to bring this up to remind the person, that ain't you throwing it up in their face.
Right.
Right.
It's that you done went so far off left. I have to remind you that you too at one point were not perfect.
Yeah, but
or
see,
not the person that we see today.
and only some people you have to remind it of, because, for example, all my setbacks and trauma is always at the forefront of my mind.
Yeah.
To keep me at bay concerning whatever. I'll never get too far out there like,
Right.
oh, I'm this, I'm that, this, that,
You got a lot
another.
of people that do that
Oh,
though.
what? And we can put our hands on them without a number right now
Right.
that do it. But the hardest part of it is some of them don't know they're doing it, and some of them you can't even have a conversation with.
Yeah.
Because they dug in. They so dug in that
Well, some of it defense, man.
Oh man,
You know what I mean? Most of it
I
is
think
defense.
most of it
Yeah,
defense.
it's
probably
defense.
98% of it is.
most
know
of
what
it
I
is
mean?
defense. Is like, this is how I'm going to protect myself,
Yeah.
and I'm like, it's not about protection. It's about being vulnerable, and being open.
Yeah.
Which is way harder.
Oh, it's uncomfortable.
It's easier to protect. It's
Yeah.
easier,
It's-
when somebody that you love, when they just trying to like literally point something out, you literally go straight to defense mode.
I tell you what I deal with every time I look at my grandson. Every time I think of my son,
Right.
and I think of the mistakes I made as a young father
Mm-hmm.
and what I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when I see my grandson, it does that to me now. It ain't killing me, but it's the most interesting thing in the world, man. I'm telling you. And every time I look at that young fella and he do some things, and I'm like, man, I'd have damn strung my son up and quartered him and
All that.
all of that.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, that was the trauma. It was like you take corporal punishment.
Yeah.
You're not learning from mistakes. Like now, I'm somebody now as a parent, I encourage mistakes. But for my son, I'm talking about he was a guinea pig, because I'm talking about a lot of different things that I thought was
Yeah.
what it was. It
Yeah.
wasn't right.
No. Well,
And what's funny
It
is
wasn't right.
when
No.
you in it, can't nobody tell you ain't doing the right thing.
No.
Oh my God.
no.
And then, like, if you look back at a certain situation, it could even be 5 years later. It's almost comical how wrong you were.
Yeah.
Comical.
It's
You be like,
Literally.
you really thought that?
it's funny that we talking about this. I just had an incident with my son like the day after Christmas. And he was over and we doing some things. So he on the phone, he just talking loud and this right here. And I said, hey, bro.
You ain't even got to go past that.
Yeah. I said, hey, bro. He looked at me. He said, what, I can't be happy?
See,
I just,
victim.
Yeah.
Victim.
He said, what? I'm happy.
Damn,
I can't be happy. I
And I
said,
missed that.
no. He was talking loud and boisterous and laughing, da-da-da-da.
And he just looked at him. I can't be happy.
He said, I can't be happy. And I said, bro, I'm just asking you to hold that down
Okay.
right now.
Yeah,
You ain't got to be that loud and do a bitty play the victim, right?
Immediately.
Like a big joke.
So then
What? The fat one.
I just looked at him. So then, I raised my voice with a few choice words to let him know, no, this is real right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I switched back to where I used to be.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And let him know it was real. So then, about 30, 40 minutes went by. He quieted down and went and did what he had to do. And I said, this a teaching moment right here.
Yeah, come here.
That's what I called him back. And I said, listen, man. I said, the day ain't the day for that. I said, maybe it's any other day, maybe. I said, nah, if you really don't like that, I said, you can go, right? And it's all good.
Yeah.
It's not no problems. You see what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
say, but you got to understand, you in my turf, you dealing with me, this how we go. Now, when I come to your turf, you know what I'm saying? Let's say we in your car. You don't want nobody smoking in your car, right? I light up a cigar. Hey, man, hey, Dad, don't light up the cigar. Oh, I'm feeling good today, though. I want to fire up this stogie.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I said, don't make no
I
difference.
just can't fire up a stogie.
Exactly. See, if I hit you with that.
You don't want me to be happy?
Exactly.
I can't find my little
Let's
little
celebrate.
cigar.
Let's
And
celebrate.
that's what I
20
and that's what I told him, and he said, "Yeah, you're right." He said, "You're right." I said, "I know I'm right." I said, "Cause I done been through the bad stuff, and I'm trying to show you."
Right.
I said, "One of the best lines ever in a movie." And Dak noticed, my man said, "How dare you live under the blanket of freedom that I provide, and then question the way in which I provide it?" He was like, "That's real." I said, "Yeah,
Cold.
yeah." I said, "So it's
good
two,
men.
yeah, a few good men." So I say it's
Jack
two.
told him on the stand.
That's what he told
Y'all
me.
got a lot of nerve.
Cold like a salami sandwich.
Hey, how dare you lay up under the blanket of freedom I provide and question the way in which I provide it? He said, that's real. I said, there's two lessons in that. Number one, you're on my turf right now. That's how this go.
Right.
Yeah, this
I
deal.
said, number two, when you get your own shit, you make your own rules.
That's real.
That's how it
You
go.
know what I mean? But I went that deep just to say, man, you grow, you learn, you change, but that past is a part of you. And them traumas is a part of you. Now, you can make it a good thing or bad
Still dealing
thing.
with them and working them out.
I promise you,
Still-
bro.
still dealing with 'em and
Listen,
working out.
When you ain't
Attitudes
working them out
and-
no more, you gone.
You dead.
I'm gonna tell you something. I it took me well into my 40s to understand. I'm being real. Me and Marie
I'm
was
laughing
talking
because
one
you
night.
act like that's old. You just
Yeah, but
But I
I
mean,
literally thought an argument was there because there has to be a winner and a loser.
Me and him had this conversation.
That's what I thought the argument was.
Me and him had this conversation. I said, and you know how it came up? I said, dang, arguments are not about winning and losing.
No. It took a while to get that though.
It's not about what. It's not about who's right. It's not. It's not. It's about what's right. It's not about winning and losing.
So I'm being triggered right now because he just said it's not about who's right. What are we arguing about?
It's
then?
about what's right. We got a disagreement, right? Because disagreements are simply somebody feel very strong in what they feel, and the other person as well.
Right.
No matter how much you argue.
So the other person, you point at me, you mean the party that's right.
Yeah, see, the party that think he's right. Because if you were right, it wouldn't be an argument.
No, that's not true.
If you was right, it wouldn't be a disagreement with the person in front of you.
Mark, I don't think that's true.
No, he's not talking about you're right and they right.
Okay,
He's
that's
talking about
yeah.
right, period.
Right, period.
No, I'll be right.
Yeah. But that's how testosterone. He felt like that, and I was like, Debonair, no, it ain't up. Because here's the thing about it: we've all been in disagreements. You know what I mean? Arguments, whatever you want to call them, right? And for me, at this point in my life, it's very encouraging when there is a disagreement because you really want to hear what somebody got to say. For me, you know what I'm saying? I do. I want to hear it.
I'm halfway where you at.
I want to hear it, and then I'm going to give my level of relatability, sustainability, and culpability from that, right? And then we're not going to run in circles. We ain't on the track.
Right.
If I start to repeat anything that I said and vice versa, then we ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, so in my mind, when you repeat it,
See what I'm saying?
when you repeat it and you keep reiterating it,
Trauma.
that makes
Trauma, coach.
That
I got
proves how
some
right
right
I
trauma.
am.
I don't like you just keep coming at me.
Oh, don't
Make you-
antagonize. I told my daughter that. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
make your point.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't antagonize.
let it be.
me now.
Nah, I'm gonna do something antagonizing.
Yeah, see that,
No, I'm just
but now that turns into, I said some stuff I wasn't supposed to say. I'm so sorry. This, that, the
Yep.
other. No,
Yep.
I've never done that personally, ever.
And the worst part about that, at the time, you were making a conscious decision to do it.
See, conscious.
You know what I'm
decision. No,
Like,
we
instead of just stopping, which I've learned to do now, and be like,
listen
All
before
right.
you react.
listen before you react.
Yeah,
Then you be like, all right. But like when I growing up, and this wasn't even, I don't even know where the hell this really came from, because it ain't like that's like, I don't even know where that came from. Because it wasn't like a whole bunch of combative situations in my house. My grandma said something, that's what it was. You know what I'm saying?
right. True story. But
So it ain't like I grew up doing that. I don't know what the hell that
But here's what we got to keep in mind, especially if we're arguing with the person that we love. You know what I'm saying? The love don't change, right? So are they really coming from a bad place?
No.
Are they really trying to minimize you or hurt you?
No.
We so egotistical and got so much dang testosterone to where we like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. And
Like,
and think we be
and
right.
think we be right. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can walk in your mode, and you outside of your mode, you can be called out on it, you're going to get mad.
Oh yeah.
You can't see yourself. She right.
And you sound ridiculous.
You sound ridiculous. Like,
But you know my only problem with that is
why you calling me out?
no. Just let me be ridiculous for a minute, can you?
No.
I'll come back
No.
around. I'll come back around.
They ain't gonna let that happen.
No, they ain't gonna let it happen.
They ain't letting that
No.
happen.
Cause especially with I know the three up here, the coming back around probably ain't gonna happen. Somebody gotta yank you back around. So you gotta be called out.
Hey, and see, for me, I don't mind being called out because I'm like, golly, boy, you slipping today.
I'm gonna tell you one of the funniest call outs I got. This was outside the house. This was in Carver City one day. We at Pelham House. Shout out to Pelham Golden. We out there. And that's
Who?
probably- Mush. My bad.
I was about to say Pelham.
That's Mush real name. My bad.
I know who it was. I'm just messing
Pelham
with
on
it.
22nd
I'm just
Street?
messing
What
with
are
it,
you talking
Mush. I know who you is, bro.
So we over there. It's probably 12 kids running. They got their system down. They playing football in the street. One of them yell, a car coming. Everybody get out the
Yeah.
street.
Yeah.
They are surviving and thriving, perfectly independent of me.
Yeah.
Right. Leave them the hell alone.
I come over there. Ah! I'm yelling at my son. You don't see the car come. Mush would never like tell a parent what to do. He's like, hey man, he's like, come here real quick. I'm like, what's up? He's like, bro, what are you yelling about?
Listen.
He's like, why are you yelling at your son?
Listen, I got.
He was like, there's 30 kids out here, they playing football. You in the house, everything was going fine. You come out here and you yelling at your son to get out the street. He's been getting out the street. And I was like, first I caught myself getting mad at Mush, then I had to stop. Yeah, they have been out here playing football for like an hour. You know what I'm saying? Everything was fine.
There's some trauma in that.
Until I came out the house.
There's some trauma in that because you like, I don't want nothing to happen to my son. I don't want nobody messing with him. I don't want nobody saying nothing to him. So you got all these things going on in your head.
Coach, he forget what he was doing at 13.
Yeah. Of course he do.
Listen.
So that's really
Of course
not
it do.
what we're talking about right now.
Just saying.
saying?
Listen, shout out to Cedric Lee. We on the jet skis. We take our son on a little sun joint right over here at the Causeway.
Oh, yeah.
We get on the jet skis, right? Lamario done fell out the jet ski. He done left us. Lil Cedric hitting hook slides. We on jet skis. You can't hear nothing on the water.
Yeah.
He yelling at him. I'm like, boo, it's all right, boss. Like,
Right.
you were jumping off the bridge at
Right.
this, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And let trauma.
Well, you know why? You look back and you think, man, I could have broke my neck.
Right, you could have.
Something happened.
Somebody
you
did
did.
break their neck, though.
I see.
Yeah, somebody did break their neck.
Yeah.
Jumping off that bridge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Didn't know it was low tide. Blue, pumpkin, broke his neck. I was like, well, I guess I ain't jumping off the bridge no more. I mean, some of the stuff that we actually did, but the trauma, how we raised, our level of temperament, you know what I mean? Baby anxiety, you know what I mean? Thinking about what coulda, woulda, coulda. Man, we was going to the store buying cigarettes at 10. You kidding me?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to buy it.
I
But you
was.
look like you was 19 when you was 10. People
Wow.
probably thought you was just slow.
We were-
They're like, damn, he's 6'5", but his speech, his vocabulary ain't quite there.
Hey, you playing though. You playing though. That's how they thought about Lamario though. Lamario was 2. He looked like he was about 6. They was like, well,
talk.
you can't use the R word no more.
Right.
But is he slow?
Right.
He can't talk. I'm like, he 2.
Right. They thought it was sale.
Yeah. So, parents, teachers, moms, dads, sons and daughters, whatever trauma that is that you're dealing with, whether it's something being uber negative, whether you suffer from level of anxiety, low self-esteem, the depression, whatever the trauma, a boy said you don't look nice, you know what I'm saying, a girl you may like that may not be interested, you know what I mean, arguments with your husband or your wife, that trauma, you know what I mean, that you bringing into each and every situation, making a tip to deal with it, do better. Whether you was strung out on drugs and now you done beat the odds, whatever the case may be, deal with the trauma, understand that was a part of your life, whether you believe in Jesus Christ or whether you believe in Allah. At the end of the day, the judgmental card, if you're judging yourself, you're not going to be able to deal with yourself. So don't be concerned with what other people think.
Say that again, Reed?
If
That's a gem. You just dropped one.
I did just drop one. But if you judging yourself, you know what I mean. You can't really be concerned with somebody judging you as well. So at the end of the day, you have to look at all that trauma that you've had to deal with. You got to deal with that. Nobody else does. That's nobody else's job. That's nobody else's obligation. You have to deal with everything you deal with, and all that is man-made that you create. All of it.
Yeah, that's
It's all man-made. Anxiety, the depression, you create that yourself. Do better, feel better, so that you can be better for others in regards to what you dealt with. I mean, a lot of people don't really understand. People love a good story. People love a good story. The trauma that you dealt with, whether you was incarcerated and you got out, but don't run around with your chest out like you badder than the world.
No, you can run around.
You know what I'm saying?
With some self-esteem,
With some
and your
confidence.
chest poked out.
With some confidence.
But just like Tommy Gunn say, remember, you too have skeletons in the closet. And when somebody bring them to the forefront, you know what I'm saying? Don't
play the victim card.
Don't play the victim.
Get him out and dance with him.
Don't play the victim
don't play
card.
The victim card.
Who did it better?
First, we got to talk about what's today? Friday. Again, we up here. At what time is it, guys? 6:30.
6:30. No, it's about 6:45.
We do it for the people.
No, it's 7 o'clock.
Well, I mean, we 30 minutes in.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
7
It's
o'clock.
a 5:30 wake up for the people. That's how dedicated we are.
I wish we were live.
We're going to have to go live so we can have some call-ins one day.
Ooh, call
But
us.
we got a couple big games today. Alabama, Cincinnati, Coach Reed. And we got Michigan and Georgia.
I like the under in the Michigan game. I don't care what it is. I like the Thunder.
Jones
When
don't
this
know.
dude start, I never understand all
just-
that.
we're
I
not
don't know
talking
nothing
about that
about
right now.
It's gonna be a
Who
good
do you
game.
think? Who do you think is gonna win each game, Coach
I
Love?
know when you go there, I never understand all that.
Alabama versus Harbaugh. Harbaugh get his just due today.
In this final,
Like
in the
Dolph
final?
in the final. Ain't no repeat of Georgia, Alabama. If Georgia get there, Alabama losing the national championship game, Nick Saban don't get number 10 this year.
With confidence,
What he got about? How many got?
9.
Hey, check, Nick.
Probably
How many chips Nick Saban got? 7?
7, if I had to guess. 1 from LSU,
8?
probably 6 at Bama. So I'm gonna say 7. He ain't John Wood. Don't do that.
He about to be the rate he going.
For real.
He got a lot of them.
Man, he got a lot of 'em.
7.
Confidence a funny thing, man. You watch, especially with young dudes.
Shout out to the kid from
Georgia.
Tampa that's running the ball at Cincinnati. Damn, it's too early. I can't remember the young
know.
brother's name. But he played at Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
transferred to Cincinnati, and they got him in the bowl today.
Gotcha. But confidence a funny thing, man. These young dudes, Georgia was rolling and on top of the world, and everybody talking about their defense was NFL caliber and all this. When you get a mud hole stomped and you like that,
No, Jones, they NFL caliber.
sometimes it's hard to come back.
They NFL caliber, and people get their ass kicked on Sundays too.
They
Just
do.
like they got theirs
They
kicked.
do. But with them young dudes like that,
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to regroup.
Yeah.
You talking the talk, and you in practice, oh, we back. I heard the Kirby Smart, they coach say the other day, well, you got to learn sometime, and sometimes the best way through a loss, ooh, man, depending on where your confidence level was, sometimes you take that hit and you don't quite bounce
He
back.
got to spin it though, Jones.
He got to spin it.
Attitude.
As a coach, that's
Like the old people say, attitude reflect leadership.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
if he walk around, dang, boy, I
But
thought it was the year we was gonna beat
Now,
Bama.
maybe Michigan get them. I would like to see it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just glad to see Michigan and Cincinnati, and they're not the same old 4 people.
I 100% agree with you on
Clemson,
that one.
Ohio
know.
State.
Yeah.
This Clemson first year not in it.
I'm
in the
glad.
last 5 years.
I'm glad to see it.
Dang.
And it ain't necessarily because it's Clemson.
Yeah.
Just
But yeah,
it's been other people out there. Now they're gonna open this thing up in a few years.
they gonna expand.
Yeah,
2 more
12.
games.
Oh, okay.
they're gonna do the 12. I think they talking about going to 12,
12,
maybe
I
or
wouldn't
something
be
like
mad.
that.
That's more football.
There's more football. Yeah, you
More football, more
definitely.
bowls, more rings for everybody.
So-
More-
Wait a minute, you mean they go the college students?
oh, the
More
student athletes you
games?
speak
Yeah.
of?
The student athletes that you making $1 billion off of without being compensated. So I'm glad
That's
that
why I
we
know
boys
it's
getting
gonna
their
be
money.
more games.
You took me back to something. I remember when I was younger and they was talking about this whole student athlete thing, and a guy was on TV. He was like, "Y'all think it's about the student athletes?" He said, "Why would the University of Miami join the Big East, and a kid got to go from Miami on a Tuesday night up to Boston, Massachusetts to play a basketball game during the school week?" But y'all sitting on here talking about it's about the kids.
Yeah.
Now, at the
exactly.
time, I didn't think that was a big deal till I got older. I was like, that's huge.
That's huge, man.
That is.
Who did it better, bro? What you got?
Who did it better? We're going to go albums. Do kids
we
know
doing
what
2 of
albums
them?
are? No, I got
I
one.
don't know if they know what albums are.
Well,
Well, they gonna know today. An album is a
a CD. If you say CD.
no. We'll say album or CD. They're called albums. We
Okay.
gotta call them what they are. If a artist come out today with 12,
the album.
7 or more songs, it's considered an album.
Okay.
Okay, not a mixtape.
Okay.
And you know what I think of when I think of album? That vinyl, boy. That
Yeah.
big 4-5.
Of course you think of that, and I think of that CD. And they don't even put CD players in cars no more.
Only type of dope we sell is dope CDs and cassettes.
Hey,
That's what
listen
G
now.
Prince said
Yeah,
on that Ghetto
yeah, yeah.
Boys.
I know 8-track crossed my mind from time to time, yo.
Going back, look at
Do far, boy. Them things don't sound like nothing right now.
Who did it better? Mary J. Blige, what's the 411? Or the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill?
Miseducation, Lauren Hill.
No way.
Folks at home,
No.
I knew this was gonna be a hot button
way.
topic.
Miseducation of Lauren Hill is done.
Mary J. What's the 411? Or the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill? Comment. Let's get the poll going.
See, here,
I say the Miseducation.
well,
I know we got a lot of Mary J. fans out there.
But then on this panel that's done, they're 2-1.
You know what Loverboy going with.
just
Who is it?
Loverboy.
I was just on the What's the 411
Really?
driving back from Georgia the other day.
True story.
True story.
That's your cut.
What?
So you telling me
So listen,
like free lunch is a cold cut?
I'm talking about plenty of them. Put it in the microwave, boy, let that cheese melt, boy, drop some mustard on it, and knock it down. So listen, I knew both of y'all was going. I'm talking about efficiently and promptly say Miss Education and Lauryn Hill. You know why? And I'm going back to what Debonair's saying. It's the ESPN effect. It's the CBS Grammy Award winning effect.
I bet it's the numbers effect.
See, I ain't looking at
I
the numbers.
bet it's the numbers effect.
You think that
I
album?
bet
You think so?
Yeah, it did. It did.
Thank
it
you.
did. It did.
That's what I'm looking at, the numbers.
I'm looking
I
at
appreciate the music
content.
on both sides.
I'm looking at the music. What I
Don't
miseducation
do read like
that
that.
miseducation can't stand next to that 1-4-1-1. Are you kidding me?
Tell the folks at home, Reed, they got to weigh in because you outnumbered right now.
Don't
Listen.
forget the crossover value too.
Listen. Okay.
Crossover appeal.
Listen, you can do all of that. If the question was so articulately said, people, what album has more versatility?
No. I just said who did it better.
No.
That's a
Because
little
all the
bit.
stuff y'all just mentioned.
Oh, I literally said who
Miss
did it
Education
better.
Lauryn Hill won like 3 Grammys.
I don't know nothing
You know what
about
I'm
that.
saying? It
did.
It
Okay.
did. Yeah.
I ain't
You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about here.
Listen, if I put both of them albums on right now, and I promise you I'm going to give y'all 2 hits from Miss Education Lauryn Hill when we get off the air, and 2 from that, and one of them you slept on. 2 from that What's the 411? Y'all going to be like, oh, my bad. I guarantee you.
Oh no, I remember.
If both of y'all jump in y'all car right now, you will vibe more off the What's the 411 before you vibe off the Miss Education.
I
Lauryn
get it.
Hill.
We just need to be more clear on who did it better
No, no,
and
who
cover
did it
all
better?
the
There you
ground.
go. Now, which album was better based on numbers, based on Grammy Award?
No,
Whoa. We not finna dumb this down.
No, I meant on everything total. I
My
got
question
Miss
will be
Education.
answered.
Yeah.
By the people at home, we ain't talking about Grammys. Coach Reed trying to squirm his way out.
No,
of
I ain't trying to squirm my way out of nothing. No.
We ain't talking about Grammys, crossover appeal. Who did it better?
Mary J.
Man, go on the side. Take us out of here.
Mary J.
Take us out of
Take
here.
know
us
what
out
I'm
there before
saying?
you go get your little raggedy facts on there,
Right, man.
Don't
Take
come
us
over
out
there.
here,
Go
man.
ahead, man.
Hey, subscribe to the channel, hit the button, hit the thumbs up, man. We having too much fun on this thing. We keep going up. We enjoying everything we speaking on. Keep bringing it to us. I think we almost at 600 right now, fella. 600. Hey, anything you want to hear us talk about, anything, remember, man, don't let trauma define you. You know what I mean? Get through it, overcome it, find somebody to speak to, find somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? But deal with it. Whatever that trauma is for you could be different for somebody else.
Hey,
you know
man,
what I
you
mean?
ain't no tree, man. Pick up them roots, baby. Move.
Pick them roots up, man. Don't be like a duck in water with that thing moving fast. You can't see nothing.
That's
And
it.
they used to call me iceberg. Boy, you can't see what's underneath, but up top, I thought I had it all together. I promise you it ain't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Couldn't have been more wrong.
Couldn't have
Yes,
been
sir.
more wrong.
Yeah.
I promise you that. 99 signing off.